Hello everybody and welcome back to the funniest tweets. Today we are reflecting on the Brazilian Grand Prix. A race I was quite visibly very excited for. And I was still excited for it as we started the formation lap. We'll get into it. As you know, there'll be a segment for that. Your memes have been brilliant as always, so let's dive into them right now. So in the excitement of Brazil and wearing that lovely Brazilian wig, which actually wasn't dyed, like I was telling Twitch chat the whole weekend, I didn't realise, because I don't have the technical brain, that it would affect the green screen that was behind me. So I apologise for whatever it looks like for the rest of this video. Sorry. Formation lap.
Oh, no way! No way! I don't know what to say. Oh my god.
Well, we have to start with this because it makes the most sense chronologically, doesn't it? I was rather excited seeing the front row of the grid, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Max looking like he was on at least a few laps cycled worth of tyres, soft tyres. Leclerc, you could see the shine. You could see the shine on that. And I'm thinking, oh, we're going to get a little dive bomb into turn one. Charles Leclerc leads the Grand Prix. Give me a bit of hope. But no. That's Tony GRI84894875. Can't believe he didn't cry during the Titanic. The men even have feelings. I don't know. It's one of those that you wouldn't think it would hit me that hard, but this particular moment and seeing Charles Leclerc in the barriers during the formation lap split me in two. I don't know if it's because I was so excited to see if he could take Max into turn one. Not that I actually thought that they would win the race, but I was just hopeful for some interesting first stint, perhaps. To then just see him in the barriers. If you were tuning in to our Twitch live streams, Matt P1 Tommy, I was quite quiet for 10-15 minutes as my emotions were catching up on me because I was absolutely floored at Yenyim after seeing Leclerc in the wall. It was one of those reactions where you probably think, oh, Matt, you didn't say anything. Like, why have you not said anything? Why are you not screaming? Why are you not shouting? For me personally, you'll see a trend with the clips, the reactions that I have for Leclerc. If it's something that like Ferrari have done, put him on the wrong tyre, not reacted to a safety car, I'm going to lose my mind. If he's hit by someone or whatever, it's an instant like, oh my God, what's happened sort of thing. This was quite literally the word unbelievable. My brain could not process that he was in the wall. It couldn't. That first lap, before they had the red flag, obviously after the formation, I absorbed very little because I was still just sat there thinking, Charles not in the race. Charles not even going to start the race. There's not even an opportunity for Ferrari to blunder a pit stop or for Ferrari to just have bad tyre deg. It was just over. At Flick Floof, Charles Leclerc after half of the formation lap, done for the day! Oh, your memes. They made me so happy. Oh, gosh, yeah. You all came into the Twitch channel, didn't you? We peaked at 23,000 concurrents. You all popped in, didn't you? Not to think, oh, Matt, are you okay? Matt, I know, that's pretty harsh, having to deal with that emotionally on the formation lap, seeing your driver crash. No, you all came to see if I was screaming or flipping a table or doing something pretty ludicrous. So thank you. At Mr. Wolfieface, I can't take it anymore. 0 days since the last Ferrari incident. What more is there to say? There were so many memes in this segment, and it's just painful. I feel bad now if I've had a really long segment for one of your favourite drivers and I've gone, oh, sorry, one more meme. Sorry, whoever, insert X name here, fans. I'm now on the receiving end. At Geox thought Leclerc retired before the race. Now, this was an interesting one. I saw a lot of people confused by this. I was a little bit confused as well, but my understanding of this is that Albon, who obviously had his crash at pretty much turn 1, lap 1, didn't get to essentially the next, or the safety car line, or whatever the first sort of detection point is for the car having started the lap, I suppose, or maybe the updating of the transponders or that sort of stuff. That's my understanding as to why Albon was shown as being P20 despite Leclerc not actually starting the race. Boosted Stephen! Charles, let's have a great race! Ferrari hydraulics! No! I'm so ready for this season to be over. I really am. I love it, and I will miss it, and I will complain that it's gone, but there's also part of me that goes, my God, I need a break. I need a mental rehab from what has gone on this year. And they haven't even been challenging for the world title. That was 22. That was a whole different story. This year, it's just poles, isn't it? And then not being able to convert, and then mistakes, and smile through the pain. At Crystal Horner, that Charles Leclerc radio. Man who thought he'd lost all hope loses last additional bit of hope he didn't even know he still had. Thanks. And finally, one to sum up this segment quite beautifully, at Joe Gamer 6p, being a Charles Leclerc fan today. Pain. Would we say today? Would we say this week? Would we say this month, this year? Ever since he joined Ferrari? It's hard to really pinpoint. There have been good moments. There have. There have definitely been more bad moments. F1 TV direction. Oh my goodness me, we've not had a proper pop-off about F1 TV direction for quite some time, and I think you should tune into the podcast if you want to really hear mine and Tommy's thoughts on what on earth were they doing. At Jamie P Comedy, the TV direction this weekend when overtakes are happening. They must have had interns in. They must have been like, it's towards the end of the year, championships are wrapped up, not too much going on. It's only Brazil, that's not too chaotic. Bring in the interns, bring in the work experience. Right, press this button if you wanted to. What were they doing? There were so many mistakes. There was like the graphics being wrong. There was just cutting away from action, overtakes. There was cutting to replays when it was probably one of the only points where we'd see potentially a fight for the lead between Norris and Verstappen. We had cars coming out of the pits and you're thinking, oh, are they going to come out ahead or behind of the cars they're battling? And then we cut to a random battle for P15 or maybe slightly higher. Maybe I'm being unfair on that. It was very poor. At Beat Up Car, every time the TV direction cuts away at key moments to show a replay or something insignificant, it boiled the blood of myself and pretty much everybody. There is nothing more frustrating than cutting to a replay, for example, if something's looking close. Say if a car, let's say Lando Norris, gets within DRS of Max Verstappen. When has a car got in within DRS of Max Verstappen that often? It's a rarity. Don't cut to anything else. I don't want to see anything else at that point. Maybe P3 if there's a fight there, whatever. The wheel knowledge was not displayed in the F1 TV direction department this Grand Prix weekend. And we have had some moments, I think, over the last few as well, where we've complained. But this one was too much. At Tim Kotzer _ this F1 TV direction today is giving Monaco a run for their money for the worst of the worst. The thing is, right, there was one moment, I think it was Perez and Alonso, I want to say, I can't exactly remember. My brain is so fuzzy from having to deal with everything that's gone on with Charles Leclerc today. But there was a couple of exactly the same moment of a car coming out the pits and you're wondering, where are they going to come out in the grand scheme of their battle? And both times, they cut away. Where's the wheel knowledge? We want to see these things. Alonso, the GOAT. But this is literally the last chance.
Why is Perez defending?
Has Perez spotted the apex? Oh, he's a bit compromised.
He's going to have a good chance here.
Go on, Fernando!
Come on, Fernando!
Oh, he got him! Oh, they nearly touched! They nearly touched! Yes, Fernando! Come on! Get one exit. One more exit of dreams for Fernando.
No.
Oh, he's dived it!
No.
Yes, Fernando! Oh, Fernando Alonso, I want to praise you to the hills. What a performance. How we did not win Driver of the Day, I do not understand. Lando, of course, had a great drive, and there were a few other standout performances. Sergio Perez probably wasn't one of them. Not sure why he was in the top 3. But Fernando Alonso, not only to fight with Perez, but to hold him off, lose the position, then gain it back on the last lap. Oh my God, it was so good. At Jason Laug, Alonso finishing ahead of Perez. It was so close. It was like, what, half a tenth? Alonso himself said after the race that he thought it was lost after he, of course, lost that position to Perez. But he got the DRS down the main straight, hooked up the car beautifully into turns 1 and 2, and got the slingshot. The way he was driving was absolutely masterful. The racing lines he was taking that were different. They weren't the racing line. It wasn't a normal racing line for him. It was, I want to get the best exit I can out of this corner. How will I do this? Okay, I'm going to go wide out of Yungkao, I think it's called. Yungkao, I'm probably not pronouncing that right. But taking a very unorthodox line through there to get a really good run to then be able to defend from Perez behind. And it worked almost every single time, apart from obviously Perez getting through, but then got him back. At Erikoff, all aboard the Alonso hype train. What a drive. What a finish. 42 years old, this man is, and performing at a level that is... there's not many drivers. I did put this tweet out. There aren't many, probably not even a handful, that could have dealt with what Fernando did in terms of his defence in this race. Not only was his defence amazing, but he's in an Aston Martin against the race-winning car of a Red Bull. Now we know Perez has been struggling, but he was better this weekend. He looked racier, but he could not deal with Fernando Alonso's way of defending and just being able to get that gap to a level that was able to defend into turn 1 and then out of the Senna S's. I mean, Tommy was even more buzzing, of course, because he's a fanboy of Fernando Alonso, but my goodness me, you have to. There aren't even that many memes of Fernando Alonso, but I just needed a segment just to say Fernando Alonso, unbelievable. Honourable mentions. Okay, we're into honourable mentions now. Just memes that don't fit into particular categories, or maybe we didn't want too many categories, whatever it might be. At Phoebe Giono4. Everywhere I go, I see his face. Poor old Lando. Another mega drive in P2. He gave us hope, didn't he? He caught within a second, actually forced a defensive manoeuvre from Max Verstappen, which we've not seen in a while, and it gave us a lot of hope. And then we blinked and it was over. At Jamaican Stick, I was only dreaming, I guess. And this pretty much sums it up quite beautifully. 1/10 behind Verstappen. We're going, we've got a race on our hands. Then lap 13, he was 2.3 back. He did sort of manage that gap quite well. And I think Lando only finished 8 odd seconds behind Max. But it was just a gap that we knew Max was just holding on, managing the tyres, not pushing it too hard. It was tantalisingly close at one point, but we knew Max had it in the bag, didn't we? At Tomos Norris, me seeing Ricciardo having a good race, but being a lap down from the start. I was gutted for Piastri and Ricciardo, who were, for whatever reason, a lap down after the whole shenanigans of lap 1. Ricciardo obviously having his rear wing changed after the tyre just yeeting it. I mean, that was chaotic. The two Hasses getting involved with Alex Albon. But yeah, it was gutting for Ricciardo and Piastri. It was quite interesting to see those two having their own race. And Danny Rick was doing all right. I know Oscar was probably a bit of a guinea pig for Lando Norris, sort of delivering the data to McLaren to let them know what tyres were working. But I thought Danny Rick seemed like he was doing a pretty solid job, from what we could tell. At Maitland Miller, McLaren and AlphaTauri during the red flag. They were busy. They were very busy. We thought Oscar Piastri was out the race. Then they managed to fix his car. Of course, didn't really matter. It was more of a test day for Oscar and then also for Daniel Ricciardo as well. So a shame for both of those drivers, but we'll see. Danny Rick, he won't be too fussed because it's Las Vegas next, and Vegas, baby, he's excited. At Flammer Mama, Machine Gun Kelly while Martin Brundle interview. One of, if not the strangest interview I've ever seen in the Martin Brundle grid walk. It was similar to like a way back when sort of Ozzy Osbourne interview. It was so strange to watch. I mean, Machine Gun Kelly was asking Martin Brundle to do sort of an air guitar, then an air piano. Then Martin was like, no, why are you getting me to do that? Some people found it entertaining. A lot of people found it quite cringe. I was more on the latter. Quite difficult viewing. At Formula Yade, Toto looks different. Did he get a haircut or something? Yeah, we had that graphic. We had Lando Norris on soft tyres after his pit stop onto the mediums. We had Hamilton comparison graphic to Hamilton, just to name a few. But we've already had our F1 TV direction run, so we're not going to go into it anymore. At Aljosa Kankar. Crikey, the state of this car at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Now, Mercedes fans, was it worse than my weekend watching Charles Leclerc on the wall at formation lap? No, probably not. But it's close. That Mercedes had no speed. It obviously was quite quick in the first and middle sectors. We saw that in qualifying. They were both at like a 10th up on Lando through the middle sector. But they were the slowest car in a straight line. It just didn't allow them to race. They had no pace. They were struggling on the soft tyres, tyre deck, slow in a straight line. And that's not what we expected, considering George Russell literally won the Brazilian Grand Prix last year, and it was a Mercedes 1-2. At Stefan655, Mercedes today. To be honest with you, that still probably wouldn't create as much drag as the car that was out there on the Interlagos circuit. It was painful to watch. You had the Alpines flying through. At one point, myself and Tommy were looking at Logan Sargent's split delta to George Russell. And we're wondering, can Logie Bear actually catch him? He couldn't, but he was catching him at one point, and we all got excited. At AlexHumphrey_33, what is going on? If you were, late to the race by about 3 minutes, you would have seen everything change. You had, of course, Lando Norris P2 from P6 on the grid. Red flag, Albon and K-Mag crashing, Hamilton up to P3, a tyre just bouncing around. And Leclerc did something or other, don't really want to talk about it. It was a chaotic start, and we thought, whoa, Brazil, what are you cooking? And then for about 60 laps, we had not the greatest Grand Prix. Right, Tommy's Tasty Tweet time. And I wonder what sort of meme, what segment, what part of the race might you have picked one that's made you laugh the most this week, Tommy? Who's won a copy of EA's F1 23?
Well, I'd be proud I didn't pick a Fernando Alonso one for once. And I will just say, I think this was maybe even the best selection of memes of the year so far. So it's very difficult, but I went for Mr. Idiot, who's not an idiot because this is superb, with this little matte version of a comic, basically. And I always love the ones where people put our kind of reactions to things or things that we said in the podcast to a meme, and this is just superb.
Yeah, it's absolutely top quality from Mr. Idiot, so congratulations. You win a copy of F1 23 at the expense of my despair. So thank you, Mr. Idiot, and thank you, Tommy. We're going to be out in Vegas, which is very exciting. Can't wait for that.
I know. I can't. It doesn't feel real.
It doesn't feel real.
It's come around so quick.
Less than a week. So it's going to be amazing. But thank you, Tommy, as always, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Right, that is it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the funniest tweets to the Brazilian Grand Prix. Thank you to EA for sponsoring Tommy's Tasty Tweet segment. Enjoy your copy of F1 23, and we will see you in a couple of weeks' time for Las Vegas. Myself and Tommy are going to be there. So it might look a little bit different, the setup for the content, but we will be filming the content as normal. If it's a little bit later, we apologise, but we try to be on time every single time, and that's the aim. Thank you, as always, for all your love and support. P1 live show tickets are still available for London and Manchester. They are sold out in Glasgow. So if you want to get involved with that, please check out the link in the description. And thank you again for all your love on Twitch as well. It's been an amazing weekend, apart from the Ferrari stuff, but we won't talk about that anymore. And we'll see you very soon. Podcasts, driver ratings, all that's coming. So look forward to that. And I'll see you very soon.